So, our listeners have just found out that you work as a sexologist and a sex therapist. How did you end up in this profession?
Um, Great question. My own sexual shame, my own sexual dysfunction, my own sexual problems, and a nervous breakdown, which led me into the non-traditional route of looking at these things, of going into Tantra. And then from there, training sexological bodywork and consent and psychotherapy and a whole bunch of trainings that have supported my own personal growth. And through that, I'm in a position now to be able to teach, and I've been teaching for 8 years now.
That's an incredible journey to go through, and I find that sometimes our circumstances can lead us into our professions and to want to support people. I know with my one, it is essentially because I struggled when I was much younger, and I'd like to be able to support people uh, with the role I do now. So we're focusing today on sexual shame, and one of the elements you wanted to talk about is how those who work in primary and secondary school as teachers and they're asked to teach on RSE and why that can be so difficult. Sometimes people think it's because they might be a bit embarrassed about it, but actually there's something far deeper that could be behind that. So how is sexual shame different from guilt?
Great question. So the Brené Brown talks about um, guilt is I did something wrong, therefore I can repair it. So I broke the vase, therefore I can buy you another vase. I can apologize, for example. Shame. So guilt is I did something wrong. Shame is I am wrong. So there's some belief there that there is something intrinsically wrong with us. And to drill down on even a little bit further, there's something called healthy shame, which is we have a value or belief that we choose to follow. So, for example, I like to do recycling. So, if I go to put a plastic bottle in the wrong bin, or if I'm out somewhere and I choose to put a plastic bottle in the general rubbish, then my conscience will prickle. My healthy shame will go, that's not aligned with my beliefs. And I might choose to do something different. I might choose to ignore that and still put the bottle in the bin, or I might say, I'm going to put that in my bag and take it home and put it in the recycling. So that's healthy shame. That's a conscience, what we call a conscience. Toxic shame tends to belong to beliefs and values that have either we've taken in from our environment. So, for example, if I was brought up in a particularly religious household where sex before marriage was something that was the value and the belief that I absorbed as a child, then I will struggle with my history of having sex before marriage or sex outside of stable relationships. And I may choose to ignore that shame, but somewhere in my system, in my unconscious, that shame will still be there.